awesome. So I love that everyone here at least has experience using PowerPoint, because that, like, basically almost anything you can do on PowerPoint, it transfers over to Google Slides. The biggest question when you're using Google Slides is PowerPoint has this feature on the right side, Google Slides has it on the left side. That's the biggest thing about transferring over. But when it comes to animations, when it comes to adding pictures, to adding graphs, tables, all that wonderful stuff, you can do it on Google Slides as well. And I would say one of the biggest advantages of Google Slides is that it's more collaborative, as all of other Google applications are. So if Eileen and I are working on PowerPoint, every time Eileen makes a change, technically she has to email it back to me, look it over, what do you think? And I send it back to her. Versus with Google Slides, Eileen doesn't have to send me anything. She makes a change, she tells me to look at it, I can see what it looks like, and I can make comments, be like, change. So it's always one slide, Google slide that we're working from, and we can collaboratively make changes. That's at the same concept as like a Google Doc. If people have seen what it looks like to collaboratively work on a Google Docs with someone, it's the same experience with Google Slides versus us having to send each other different versions back and forth, which you often have to do with PowerPoints. Any initial questions people may have just on that background? Yes, you can tell Google that you want to use it offline, but it does require internet for the most part to use and present from Google Slides. So a lot of time, if you ever come to a TPF conversation and we share our screen and we show we may create it initially on Google Slide because of the collaborative feature, but we end up downloading it into a PowerPoint and sharing it that way, only because PowerPoint doesn't rely on internet. So if my internet goes down, my PowerPoint will not be affected, versus Google Slide, if my internet starts acting wonky, is going to affect my ability to share the slide during a call. So just something to keep in mind about, but they do, for the most part, that's actually two applications that for the most part work well together. If you create a PowerPoint, upload it to Drive, it'll become a Google slide. If you have a Google slide, turn it into a PowerPoint, everything should work pretty fine. The only thing is sometimes the fonts aren't transferable. Like Google may have a font that Microsoft doesn't have, so it'll just convert it to the closest thing that they have, and vice versa. Any questions people may have before I go to the walkthrough portion of class, keeping in mind that anything I do with my share screen afterwards, I'm going to stop and everyone's going to be able to try and do it themselves. Okay, no questions. I'm going to start sharing my screen with everyone. One moment. And I may lose you, so just in case I'm not looking, I have my Zoom on one side and my share screen on another side. So just in case if you have a question and I'm not looking at you, you can please feel free to unmute and just start talking, and then I will stop talking. More than happy to do that. Okay, and can everyone see my screen okay? Okay. Just wanted to emphasize, for the most part, a lot of these things you've seen before, or if there's some things you don't see, it's just a matter of locating it. That may be the hardest thing about making the transition. Okay, PowerPoint has things on this side. Now, where does it live when I'm on Google Slides? So I'm kind of already using a sample, but when we do our walkthrough, I'm going to have everyone kind of create one from scratch to kind of get the real simulation. Once again, some of our menu items, file, PowerPoint has this, edit, view, insert. Those are pretty standard menu options that you're going to have. If you want to download, if you want to create a new slide, if you want to rename stuff, if you want to delete stuff, your file menu option is where you're going to find all those stuff. Something that may be a little bit different from PowerPoint is all Google applications will have like a version history. If I had been working on this slide like from 2 weeks ago, I would be able to see all the different iterations of its existence, but I only created this morning. So it doesn't have that long of a life to be able to see what it looked like 2 weeks ago. If I want to download it into a PowerPoint, I can easily, and this is where you will do that. And you can also turn it into a PDF. What's the difference? A PowerPoint, I can edit. A PDF, I can just look at it. Or you can make it into an image. And then also all Google applications, you have the ability to share stuff. If I wanted to share this with Eileen, I can do it from here. And then I would just type in her email address, she would get a copy, and then she could collaboratively help me build my science fair project Google slide. Edit, if you want to undo, redo, rather than using the keyboard shortcuts, you can do that from here. View, if you want to enter slideshow mode, if you want to, I know something that Microsoft is really big on. They have like all these different themes and stuff. If you want to add themes, you can do that. If you want to, this is kind of like a advanced class of PowerPoint. I haven't used, of slides. I haven't even done this on PowerPoint, but I know especially Nancy Henry, when she's creating all the initiative slides, sometimes she'll make sure the logo is on each slide. She'll make sure there's a number, there's a hashtag. This is called like the master slide deck, where you can make sure all your slides have a certain element, whether it be an image, an icon, a page. But that's a little bit advanced, but I just wanted you to know that this is what this is. If you want to create a master slide deck to make sure all certain elements appear on every certain page of your slide, which it may be a logo, it may be a page number, but. And then if you want to see comments that people have made, or if you want to decide if I want Eileen's comment to be on the side, if I want it to be directly on the document, I have full control over that. Insert, one of the things that makes a slide pop out is when you insert different elements. You can insert an image by uploading it from your computer, searching the web, and they have some GIFs and stickers available for you to choose from. Text boxes, audio, video, shapes, anytime you want to add something to your PowerPoint, most likely this is where you're going to go to do that. And then slide numbers as well. You don't have to manually add a number to each slide page. You can just have Google Slides do that for you. Formatting, if you want to change the alignment of certain text. And I just want you to keep in mind some things. So before I clicked on the text, formatting, everything was grayed out. Like I wasn't able to do nothing. Some things you have to click on a text or an element for those menu options to be available. Now, because I clicked on Science Fair Project, now I can make it bold. Now I can align. So some things may be grayed out because you have to select a text or an image or an element in order to be able to perform a certain function. Like if you're not selecting anything, like Google Slide doesn't know what you're trying to bold. And then if you want to create a new slide, if you want to duplicate it, delete it, skip it, change the background, if you want to change the layout of how it appears, if you want to add transitions, this is where you would do that from. And then you have arrange, if you want to change the order of which elements are presented, or even rotate them, flip them. And then you have additional tools. If you want to check spelling, if you need to use a dictionary, you can do that. And then this toolbar right here, like if you use Google Docs or you've been to the Google Docs class, then I know you're familiar at least with this toolbar that allows you to change the fill color of something, the text color of something, the border, font sizes, alignment. Once again, this is just a handy dandy toolbar to quickly format your text or your images in ways that make sense to you. And once again, once you click on stuff, that's when additional features will appear. For example, right now I haven't selected anything, so part of my toolbar is gone. But once I click my text, my toolbar has come back. And know that there's always going to be more than one way to do something. Right here, I can see an outline of the different slides that I have currently in my science fair project. If I want to change the ordering, I just select and I move it. If I decide that I actually want to make a duplicate, I can right click and I'll have an additional menu that appears where I can duplicate stuff and I can delete as well. Once again, emphasizing that there's always going to be more than one way to do something. If I want to enter slideshow mode, I just click slideshow here. And now I'm in slideshow mode. There's something called presenter view. As a presenter, sometimes it's helpful to have little notes here for yourself to kind of guide the conversation. Like you don't want your audience to see the speaker notes, but you want to be able to see it to reference what you want to talk about on certain slides. So if you enter speaker notes here and you enter from speaker view, your audience will only see the PowerPoint, but you will be able to see the PowerPoint in your notes reminding you, Tina, you're supposed to talk about this element or this element of this slide. So you see your notes, but the audience just sees your pretty PowerPoint. And once again, speaker notes are inserted at the bottom for every slide. And then when you go, instead of clicking slideshow, you click this arrow, and then it'll allow you to enter presenter view. And then once again, if I want to share it with Lindsay, I just click share. This is pretty much going to be the same little box for every Google application that you use. I can either type in Tina's email address, or I can just copy the link and send it to her via email. Once again, reminding you that you can give people different privileges. If I only want Alicia to look at it, I'll give her viewing privileges. If I want her to comment, I'll give her commenting privileges. If I want her to edit and help create this slide with me, then I'll give her editor privileges. And that means she can add, she can delete, anything I can do as a creator of the slide, she can do. Does anyone have, and before I forget, talking about transitions. When you want to add transitions, you can right click here, or you can go to the transition point here. But I like to, a lot of times you'll find that I like to right click stuff to find my additional menu options. And when I go to transition, this little transition bubble will appear. And you can, so I think PowerPoint may have more transition features available, but Google Slide does have some. Transitions just dictate how your slide will appear on the screen, and I can mimic that. And you can also add animations to text that just changes how they appear when you click on them. Like I'll do this, and then I'll do slideshow so you can see what that looks like. And so that was the animation. So animation is just a movement of the text or the image, just to look a little bit cool and fancy, which if you use PowerPoint, most likely you may have used transitions or animations in the past and know that Google Slides has this as well. Any questions people may have for me initially? Okay, then I will stop talking so much. And I am going to share the mock drive with everyone. I'm going to drop it in the chat for you. And I would like everyone to make their way there, please, and thank you. And once you are there, you may go into the slides folder, please. And kind of mixing two classes in one. Give me a thumbs up if you are on the mock drive. Shannon, are you able to navigate there? Okay. And once you're there, I want you to go into the slides folder, and I want you to make a folder with your name on it. And remembering again, how do you make a folder into a drive? You can either right click any white space and create a new folder, or you can go to the left-hand side of your screen and click on the new button, whichever you prefer. I'm good with. And when you create that new folder, I want it to be, you can use your initials or you can use your name to name the folder, whatever you prefer.
Should we see other people's folders?
Well, it depends on if they've created it yet. Sometimes it may take some time to load. You may have to refresh or give it a couple times, but yes, Lindsay, you should actually see it. Sometimes a refresh might help. So typically it does happen quick, but sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. And once you are, let me see. Let me refresh. Make sure I see everyone. Okay, I see Tina's, Shannon. Let me know if you are able to create your folder. And you're on mute. I don't
Do you
know.
not see mine?
No, not yet. So I see Eileen, I see. No, I do not see yours yet. Just make sure that you are in the slides folder of the mock drive. And then if you have been able to successfully create your folder, in your folder, I want you to right click and I want you to click on Google Slides. And I want you to actually create a blank presentation just to make it more interesting. And you can start messing around with it as I make sure that Shannon joins us in this wonderful journey as well. Okay, now I got you, Shannon. You're there. It could have just been my end. My internet can be bad at the office. So now, Shannon, you can just right click any white space. And then I want you to click on Google Slides. And then create a blank presentation. And please, everyone, just give me a thumbs up when you have made your blank presentation. Okay. And I may have missed hi, Lindsay. I see Eileen. Tina, are you good? Alicia, are you good? Okay, so we're all good. Awesome. I didn't leave anyone. Quite happy about that. Now let me make one for myself. So the first thing we're gonna do is I want you to go ahead and add your title. It can be whatever you want. It can be whatever you want. And once you name your presentation, on the upper left-hand corner where it says Untitled Presentation, I want you to click that. So title, your PowerPoint, upper left-hand corner, it says Untitled Presentation. I want you to click that. You should see that when you click that, whatever your title is will automatically match, will become your untitled presentation will be named that. Did everyone see that happen for them? Yes. Know that if you change the title within the slide, then you're gonna have to manually rename it up there. But for the first time, when it's untitled, if you click on there, it will match whatever your title slide says. Now we are gonna practice. I want you to change the color of your title. I want you to make it bigger. I want you to italicize it. I want you to underline it. Basically, I want you to do everything in that menu bar above, essentially. So make the font bigger, please. Bold it, italicize it, highlight it to whatever color you wish. And then where it says subtitle, I want you to add today's date, please and thank you. And now we're looking at this and we're like, this is kind of boring. It needs a pop of color. So some people are really artistic and they can already go ahead and design their background and make it look nice and fancy. I don't know how to do that. So I'm in the practice of work smarter, not harder. So I will have Google Slides already do that for me. So if you click on any white space of your slide, up above and like your little mini menu button, you should see the word theme appear. Like where bold and italics used to be, it should now see the word theme. And if you do not see the word theme, it's probably because you maybe clicked on a word or a text and just click any white space that does not have, that's not a text box or anything. And once you click on theme, well, let me confirm. Does everyone see the word theme? Okay, so you can pick whatever theme catches your eye. It's up to you, whatever you want. So now it just added a little bit of color, a little bit of pop to your slide. But now a slide usually has more than one slide in it to really be a slide. So you've gone ahead and made your theme, awesome. On the left-hand side, where you see the little mini image preview of your intro slide, I want you to click it, right-click it specifically. And I want you to click on New Slide. And I want you to do the same thing, and I want you to click on Duplicate Slide, please.
Are we duplicating the original or the new one?
Whichever one.
Okay.
It's up to you. So depending on what theme you selected, some themes will have like color on every subsequent slide, where some of them are really minimalistic. Like the title slide may have color, and everything else may like be blank, or they're just like a border, or it really just depends on which one you clicked on. But now you may be like, after looking at that theme I selected, I actually don't like it as much as I thought. Not a problem. You can you should still have theme available on the right-hand side of your screen, like different themes. I want you to go ahead and see what it looks like when you click a different theme, one different from the original you created. You can actually click several, and then you'll kind of see what it looks like. They have different options. Each theme has a different option, has a different theme. Has a different font size, different colors, just a different feel to it. For example, like I'm on the shift theme. That one has like a little bit of color on every subsequent slide that it creates. Okay. Now I want you to create enough slides to where you have like a total of 6 slides in total, including your your title. So you might duplicate until you get to 6. You might just create a new slide until you get to 6. You can do it whatever way you prefer. I just want to make sure you have 6 slides in total, please. And I will do the same. So on the second slide, and that's one thing you'll see, I'll tend to, even when I'm using Google Slides, I'll tend to use the word PowerPoint, even though this is not a PowerPoint, because sometimes it's confusing. Like this is called Google Slide, but then like each page is like a slide. So just if I use that interchangeably, it's just to kind of not get confused between Google Slide, the service, versus the actual slide, each individual page. So just kind of keep that in mind. It can get a little confusing sometimes. But for slide number 2, or the slide after your title slide, I want you to title that Pictures. Please and thank you. And to no surprise, we're going to be uploading some pictures on this slide, as the name says. So once again, how do we add pictures on a slide? Up above, kind of on the upper left-hand corner, a little bit below where your title is, you should see Insert. I want you to click on Image. And the first way we're going to do it is search through the web. So Insert, Image, search through the web, because recognizing not all of us have images on their computer. And I want you to just type in the name of something. It could be a cat, it could be a dog, it could be a whale, whatever floats your boat. On the right-hand side, Google Images should have appeared, and that's where you're going to type in the name of whatever image you want to look for, because I feel like I never talk about whales. I'm going to type in whales. And for real, that's just not an animal that typically comes to mind. But I'm going to do a whale. Find a picture of the item that you like. You're going to select it. A blue little check mark will appear. And then on the bottom, there'll be a blue button that says Insert. Or you can also just drag and drop the image from the right-hand side of your screen to the left-hand side. If you don't feel like double-clicking Insert, you can just drag it over, and it'll be like it's taking a moment, and then it will see it appear. If your image takes up too much of your space, like you don't want it to be that big, just select it. You'll see squares appear on the different corners of your image. And when you tug and pull on those different squares, it'll make the image bigger or larger, depending on your preference. So I want you to practice adding 2 images to your slide, but trying to make them at relatively the same size. So one isn't bigger than the other. So they don't take up too much space. Once again, how do you resize? You click on the image, you pull out the different squares. If you pull the squares outwards, it'll get bigger. If you pull it inwards, it'll get smaller. I'm kind of curious, what did people put in their image box? Like what images did you guys type in? I did a whale.
I did dogs.
Okay. Oh, I see a softball representing Alicia.
I did puppies.
Oh. Eileen, what did you do?
No surprise for me. I did travel stuff. So I put Seoul and Tokyo, which is where I want to go next.
Oh man, nice. Okay, so that's how you take pictures from the web. Keeping in mind that sometimes you may not have pictures. I definitely don't have a picture of a whale on my phone. So you can just search them through the web. And these are free of use, so you don't have to worry about copyright issues and all those scary stuff. But now let's say you did want to take a picture from your computer. You're going to, this time we're gonna go to, once again, insert, image, but this time we're gonna do upload from computer. And hopefully you have an image on your computer. If not, that's okay. But just know upload from computer is how you would upload it from computer.
Okay.
Yep, image, upload
Sorry.
from
On what slide is this going? Sorry.
same slides. We're still
Same
on the picture slide. Yep, good question. Still on our picture slide. And then if everyone has been able to upload, has everyone been able to upload a picture from their computer if they have one?
Yes.
Okay, and Shannon, you're on mute. I'm trying to read your lips, but that's not a talent that I have. I'm definitely that one friend, you'll try to whisper me something, I'll be like, what? What are you trying to tell me? I don't know what you're saying. And then you get frustrated because it's not meant for everyone to hear. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're trying to communicate. Okay. Now we're gonna go back to image. This time we're not gonna click on anything, but I just wanna kind of walk you through what the other options are. So we did upload from computer. I don't know what create image with Gemini is. Once again, all these software continue to evolve. This is the first time I'm saying that. So I don't know what that is to be able to explain to you. But upload from computer is to upload a picture that you currently already have on your device. Search from web is to get an image off Google Images. GIFs and stickers, it seems like Google Slides has a library of GIFs and stickers available that you can choose from. Drive, if you want to pick an image from somewhere on Google Drive or a drive that you have access to. Google Photos, if you use Google Photos, aligned with the account that you are signed into, you'll be able to pull pictures from there. Or if you want to do it by URL, or if you want to do it through a camera, where you can take the picture and have it uploaded here. I've never done that on a computer. I haven't used the camera function on a computer, so that would be interesting. But theoretically, the way it's supposed to work, you're supposed to be able to take a picture with your computer and then have it automatically embedded into the pictures. Any questions people may have on inserting pictures? Something I don't know that people know, and I can't really explain this, I can only describe it. I want you to try, you have multiple pictures, I want you to try putting one picture over the other. Just a little bit, enough so that you can still see both, but one should be covering the other. And I want you to then select the picture that's on top, so the picture that's not hidden. I want you to select that one. Right click. And then I want you to click on the word order. Sometimes some applications call it order, some applications will call it arrange, but it's really like the arrangement of how pictures or text appear on your screen. I want you to select bring center back. And now the picture was in the back will now come to the front, and the picture that was in the front will now come to the back. Because sometimes you want to change how your pictures are arranged or how they're being seen. So order is how you change it. If you want one to appear, the other to be kind of hidden, you move one to the front, you move the other one to the back, bada bing, bada bang. You can also crop from Google Slides. I want you to select any image. You can undo what you just did or remove one picture from underneath the other, whatever you prefer. But I want you to just select one image. I want you to select on the word crop. And so like, if this was like, I'm once again talking about my whale, but if this was like a family picture and I only wanted like myself to appear, like this is how I'd crop off the other members of my family so that only I would appear. So, yeah, question. Does someone have? Okay.
It wasn't me, but I just thought of one. You know how sometimes they take, like people take like a photo and they make it like the whole slide and then they put stuff like on top of it, like so it looks like the picture is just the background. Is there a way to do that without resizing it, like almost set it to the correct size, or people just drag it?
Click any, great question, click a blank space part of your slide. So don't have a text selected, don't have an image selected, and up above where bold was, look for the word background. And you should see the option to change the background, the color, background color, but you should also see where it says image, and then that's how you would upload the image that you want. And we can go ahead and practice that, because I've actually never done that before. So we can kind of simulate to see what it looks like, to see if that's what you want. And then it should give you the ability to upload an image from your computer. I'm going to do that too. And yeah, so mine's keeping in mind that it won't work with all themes. So that's something you really would want. It might work best if you just start with a blank theme and you make that blank theme, you change the background to whatever you want it to be. Once again, Lindsay's question was just like, how do you make your background a picture, desired picture? You just go to back. So you make sure you select any white space and then background up above will allow you to do that. Did that answer your question, Lindsay? Okay, awesome. Now we are going to we're going to go to slide 3. And we are going to do video now. So a lot of times when you're embedding video, you're going to be getting it straight from YouTube. You go to insert video, a little YouTube bubble will appear. I want you to pick a song that has been top of mind lately and like type in the title. And it should appear. If it doesn't appear, you might have to choose a new song. When you, any video really on YouTube should appear here. And then once you select it, I want you to select insert. Please and thank you. And place it where you want it to go.
Fortune is like this.
Oh, insert.
Now, I will say sometimes you're looking for a particular video, and if the name is too common, you don't want to be searching down like 100 list of stuff. If you have the YouTube URL, you can also type it into the search, and that video will pop up a lot quicker. Songs are a little bit easier. to find the version you want. But for a really nuanced video, like if you wanted to do like a TPF video, I would just go find the TPF video on YouTube, steal the URL, and then in the search bar, instead of typing TPF values, connecting, collaborating, and all that stuff, I would just put the YouTube URL and it would appear. Now we have our video. I want you to select it. Once you select your video, a right-hand menu will appear. Once again, as I said, some menu options will appear once you click on something. Like before, we didn't have a video, so it made no sense for this video menu to appear. But now that we have a video, you'll have the ability to tell it, how do you want it to play? Do you want it to play automatically when you get to the slide, or do you want to be the one who clicks to tell it to play? You can also put in, when do you want it to start? Do you want to start it, like if this is a song, if you want it to start at the chorus, just figure out at what timestamp the chorus starts, and then it can start from there. And if you just want people to look at it and you don't want people to listen to it, you can mute the audio. That way when it plays, there will be no sound coming through. And once again, if you want to make the video appear a little bit bigger, once you click on it, those squares will appear on the different corners. If you pull outwards, it'll get bigger. If you pull inwards, it'll appear smaller. And if you have a video on your computer, I mean, you can be able to upload it as well. So for most of the time, like when I'm converting something from a Google Slides to a PowerPoint, for the most part, like I know everything carries over, but when you are doing a video, for example, I have a music video attached on my Google Slides. If I were going to download this as a PowerPoint, once I open it as a PowerPoint, the video will no longer work. It'll be just a picture of it, but I would have to go through PowerPoint and re-upload the video. So that's something that gets lost in the conversion. Live videos do. So if I download this as a PowerPoint, I would have to go to slide 3 on PowerPoint and re-upload my YouTube video for it to work. Something to keep in mind. But after that, links and stuff will always work. It's just videos that have a little wonky thing to it. Our next slide, number 4, we're gonna title it charts. We're gonna call it charts and more, because there's gonna be more than just charts, but. Now we're gonna go to insert audio. People don't typically use audio that much, but if you had like a sound bite, no video, just audio, you can upload it from your computer or where it is on Drive. But Lindsay, we are on slide number 4, titling it charts and more, because there will be more than just charts. In fact, we are actually going to start with shapes. I want you to go to insert shape, pick any shape that interests you. And once you click it, you can kind of drag out how big you want your shape to be. Or maybe I should say you have to draw out. You have to draw out what your shape to be.
How do you get it in there? How do you get it in there? Insert, shape, and then.
Let me do it with you. Insert, shape, and then the little plus sign should appear. Let me, something better shown than explain. So can you see my screen again, Tina?
Let me get back on there. Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Yep, not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do a shape. You see how? No, I don't want to do that. I already used that. I'll do a call out. You see how this plus appeared?
Yeah.
Then I have to click somewhere, click and hold, and then I drag out how I want it to appear. So it's not just gonna insert automatically, but I have to,
Okay.
yeah, I have to Click, hold, and then drag it out, up, and then it appears. I'll stop sharing so you can see your screen. Is everyone else good with that? Yeah, that's the only one where a shape doesn't just appear. You have to kind of, and let me know if you're good with that, Tina.
Yes.
Now, moving on from shapes, we're gonna add a table. How big your table, I wouldn't recommend you creating it too big, but you can decide really what size your table is. So with this table, you can decide what your table looks like. It can be 1 column, it can be 3 columns, it can have 4 rows, it can have 5 rows. But this is how you make a table. Once your table is made, let's say you decide, I made too many rows. I didn't need all this. I want you to select a row, right click it, and then a menu option will appear for you to be able to insert a row, insert a column, delete a row, delete a column. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
That's the table. Now we're gonna go back again. We're gonna go to insert. We're gonna go to diagram. So sometimes you look at PowerPoints or slides and some people have some really well thought out graphics and you're like, how did you do that? Well, some people are gifted and they can just do it themselves, but know that Google Slides can also do the hard work for you. For example, if we click, you can click on any category of diagrams you want, and then on the right-hand side, like it'll kind of show you a visual of what type do you want. And that will appear. I did the grid one, but they have other types of stuff.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's a good or like I know that
So then it has all kinds of writing on it. Then you do have to delete all that.
Yeah, then you just delete all that and personalize it custom with your real words. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just starting you. They just kind of create the structure for you and then you customize it to make it your own.
Is there a way to like select the whole thing, like if you want to move it around? Or
Yeah.
because when I try to, it just looks like a line or something.
So theoretically, let's go on another page for me to show you that. Eileen, only because I made you put too much stuff on it. And confusing. So you can go to slide number 5. You don't have to do a title anymore, but just insert a grid on there.
Okay.
You can do the same way, the same one that you just used, and I will do it as well. Oh, diagram. I'll do a hierarchy, select on it. So I will select everything I want to move. The same way, like when you want to select a phrase or select a sentence, whenever, like if you want to copy something. So just hover over and select everything that you'd like, and then you should be able to move them all at once.
Gotcha.
And when you have all of them selected, let's see. Yeah, so Google Slide doesn't have this. But yes, once you have everything selected, if you want to make everything bigger at the same time, you can. If you want to make everything smaller at the same time, you can. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Was everyone else able to understand that little scenario of how you select everything on your screen to be able to move it to where you want it to go? Thank you, Lindsay.
Yes.
Okay. Shannon, you good? Okay. After that, I'm just trying to interpret faces, which I'm not always good at either. So now we're going to go to page number 6. we're gonna go to word art. And then a little text box will appear like in the center of your screen. I want you to just type in your name. And now your name should appear. Once you click enter, your name will just appear in word art style.
Where's word art?
When you go to insert,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
no, not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. And once you type in your name, you click enter, you see a little word art thing up above in the menu. You can change the color, you can change the font. Well, yeah, you can change the color. It won't let you change the font, but you can change the color to what you want it to be. If you go back to insert again, we're gonna skip some things in there for a second, but I want you to go ahead and click on slide numbers. A little pop-up will appear. It'll put slide numbers on, and then there'll be a checkbox asking, do you want to skip title slides? Meaning, do you want number 1 to start at the title, or do you want it to start after the title? It's up to you. Yeah, so do you include your title slide as number 1, or does number 1 really start after the title? Your preference. Your preference. Okay, so now we're gonna go through, we have our 7 slides. We're gonna go through and add transitions to each of them. For the first one, on the outline or the slide preview on the left-hand side, I want you to right-click slide number 1. And then click on transition. A right-hand menu vertical bar will appear, and you'll see it says the word none. Right now, we have no transitions. We would like to add one. I want you can pick any transition you want. And once you click one, you'll kind of see a bar appear that's kind of asking you how fast do you want the transition to be. And we're just doing this for practice by putting a transition on every slide, but really the transitions to start after your title slide. Because theoretically, like when I'm sharing my screen, I'm already on slide number 1. There really is no transition to it. And it's really the slides after, but this is just for practice. Okay, once you've added that slide, you can go ahead and do the same thing for all 7 slides that you have. This time you can just click on slide number 2 and the transition menu bar on the left will already be there. And I want you to try different transitions for the different slides. Over time, the more you use transitions, the more you'll know what the different ones look like and which ones you do like and which ones you don't like. And I want you to pay attention to that for every slide that has a transition. I don't know what this is called, but like these little concentric circles, like a little concentric circle symbol has appeared like to the left of the slide outline. I don't know what to call this thing, but that means transition. That tells you that this slide has a transition on it. On the slide outline to the left of the slide, there should be like this little circle image, letting you know that that slide has a transition. And Tina, please let me know if you do not see it. Okay. On the left side, so you see where the slide preview is on the left-hand side, where you should be able to see your different slides?
No. See, when you do the slide transition, after you click what kind you want and then the speed of it, There's nothing else you have to do to insert it, right? Or do you have to hit apply to all slides?
No, that's it. If you will click apply to all slides, that means you want all the slides to have that one transition. Right now, we're just customizing each of them to make them their own. Once you've selected your transition, you're done, Tina. You're good.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure there was no other button. Okay.
This one has no other button. But now, if you go to the outline where you can see all your slide pages to the left, let me know if you see the slide outline to the left of your screen.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. I'm sorry.
No, and I'm like, how do I, something I can't describe. I would describe it to you because I don't know what else to call it. And I'll let you get back to the Zoom screen so you can see
Like
me.
a slinky. I call it a slinky, kind of.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I see it on yours. Okay.
Who said
Okay,
that?
now I see it. Yep.
I don't know who said that. Who said
Me.
Thank you, Alicia. That's a
I
wonderful.
love slinkies.
I was just like concentric circles, and they're like, what? Yeah. If you see the slinky symbol, that means that slide has a transition. Now I want you to, on the upper right-hand corner, I want you to go ahead and click on slideshow. And if you click the arrow button or if you click, now your transitions will appear. When you get to slide number 3, your video may either automatically play or play when you click, just depending on what setting you clicked on. And as you Alicia jamming out to whatever song she had selected. And if you keep going all the way to the end, you should see all your transitions being applied. And if you don't like the transition for a slide, you just go back and change it. And if you want them to be all the same, Tina, like if you don't want it to constantly be changing, that's when you would select apply to all slides and it would be the same transition every time for each slide.
Okay.
Now I want everyone to please go to slide number 2, where we have our images. Now we're gonna add animations. I want you to select the image and right click, please. You can either right click or animate is also available on your upper menu bar, kind of in the center almost. And then on the right-hand side again, yes, you'll see transitions on the top, but you'll see another section called object animations. On the right-hand side, the little menu bar that just appears, and then that's where you'll be able to select your different animation options. So once again, first click on the image, right click, animate. By default, it may be on appear, but if you click on where it says appear, that's where you'll see all of them. Which once again, I think PowerPoint may have more, but they got some. And then it'll always ask you, after you select your animation, the next question will be, do you want it to appear on click? Or after, or with? So I want you to click on every image you have on your page and add an animation to them. Ideally a different one, but if there's one that you really love, I mean, who am I to separate you from it? So I only have 3 images, so I can only add 3 animations. Give me a thumbs up when all your images have an animation of some sort. Okay. Awesome, awesome. Awesome, awesome.
I'm good.
Thank you, everyone. And now, before we even preview what this looks like, so you should see like a little mini preview of each of the images that has an animation on the right-hand side of your menu bar. It's gonna show you like a little image of the picture, but also what animation you selected for it. And then to the right of that, there's like this checkered grid. 2, 4, 6. It has like 6 dots arranged into 2 columns. If you select on that and you drag, that's how you can reorder how your animations are coming in. Like for me, I have like 2 whale pictures and like an eagle picture. If I want my eagle picture to appear before my whales, then I will just drag it up at the top of the group so that can appear first. I want you while we're on slide 2, I want you to go ahead and click on the text box that says pictures. I want you to right click it, and we're gonna animate that too, because it doesn't just have to be objects, but it can be text boxes as well that you can animate. So I want you to add an animation to your text box. Then I want you to drag your text box to the top of the sequence, because ideally it makes sense for the title of the slide to appear before your pictures start flying in. I mean, but everyone's different. If you want to be creative, you can have a whole bunch of pictures appear first and be like, guess what this is supposed to be? And like the answer will appear. It's all up to you. So once again, go ahead and select your pictures text box, animate it, please. And in the sequence of object animations, I want you to drag pictures so that your pictures will be animated first, or the text that says pictures will be animated first. Does that make sense for everyone? Was everyone able to do that? Okay. Tina, how we doing?
Well, my pictures were all on slide 1, so I'm kind of working off slide 1.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Whatever your pictures were, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm still a little confused on how to get so I'm on the title. And then what do we do?
So like you select the title, then you right click.
Animate.
Yep. And then just pick one.
And that's it?
And then do you see all your other animations below it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're kind of all above, I
Yeah.
guess.
Okay, not a problem, because we're gonna, so in the beginning, your animations will be ordered in how you create them, but then you can manually change that order. So you should see like an arrow next to your animation.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to click on it because you want to collapse all the details. All you need to see is the name.
So on the right-hand side with the smaller pictures, you mean?
Yes.
Click on all those arrows?
No, you can just click on just the title one. I don't know what your title is, just the one that has text on it. You can just hide that one.
Yeah, I don't know which one's my title because it just says I have my 3 pictures and then it says appear or fade in. So I don't think I have my title on there yet.
Okay, so do that first, please.
I thought I did it.
And that's a great way to know whether you did it or not. If it's not appearing, then that means they're not an animation. Everyone else, you can go ahead and go into slideshow mode to test out your animations to make sure they work the way you think they do or the way you want them to do.
Yeah, I don't get that because
So I want you, so what does your title slide say? So I can
it
actually,
says weekend agenda. So I click on the box
yep,
and then the cursor's clicking in there. Do I need to highlight the whole title?
highlight the whole title, then right click.
Okay, because that's what it was. I didn't highlight the title.
Not a problem. This is why we do, because then you learn the nuances and stuff. And then you should be able, well, do you see the word animate now or no?
No.
Then I think it's more of you clicking on the text box. So don't really click on a word, but click on the text box. So that blue little outline,
Yeah.
click on
Yeah, and that's what I did. And then I do see the word animate, but then
click on that. Then let's do animate again, because you can do it multiple times. We'll click on the word animate. And then on the right-hand side, whatever your title slide, so you should see weekend agenda appear on the right-hand side.
What's the problem? I don't.
Okay, so my encouragement to you would go to a different slide number. Tina.
Okay, all right. And try it on a different one.
Yes, let's try it on a different one.
I don't know why they're not showing up.
And let me go ahead, come back to our Zoom screen, and I can show you a visual, because sometimes it just takes seeing it a different way to get it. And I'll do this one. Let me know when you can see my slide, please.
Yes.
So for me, I just click on my text box. Once again, now I know not clicking on any word, but clicking on my text box, that blue part. And then when I right click, the word animate appears. And then it immediately appears on this right-hand side.
Right.
But it doesn't do that for you.
Oh, I was looking for the title to appear over there.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
This is why it helps to see it visually, because then you're like, oh, that's what it looks like. And then after that, I was trying to ask you to please, like, we don't need all these options. Once I've already selected it, click on this arrow to collapse it. And then I'm just going to include multiple animations so you can see that. And then when I click on this little checkered grid on the right-hand side, do you see that?
Yes.
This is how I can drag and reorder them.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was trying to explain, but it was just hard to do. Like, I want the word chart to be animated first and everything else to come second. So I use this little grid to be able to move it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sometimes it just takes seeing it and they're like, oh, well, I was doing that. And then it happens. But that's how the animations work.
Okay.
And now the last thing I want us to do together is on slide number 2. On the bottom of slide number 2, you should see the section where it said speaker notes. You just type a sentence. This is just for demonstration. And then this time, when you go to slideshow, instead of clicking on the word slideshow, I want you to click on the upside down arrow. Yes, Shannon, you are on mute. You are on mute.
I don't see speaker notes, and I think I was supposed to hit something earlier.
Typically, it already appears. Let me get back. So if it does, is anyone else not seeing speaker notes?
Mine doesn't say speaker notes. It's just kind of like a little grayed out box underneath the slide, and you could click it and type in it.
Maybe,
Yeah, that's what mine was.
maybe let me say that. If you do not say, if it doesn't explicitly say speaker notes for you, there should be like a grayed out box that has a different tone from up above. If you click on it, you should be able to type in it. Do you see that, Shannon?
Do not.
Do you see a line? All I saw was a little line.
Oh, I see it. Okay, got it. I had to raise it up.
Yep, same.
You okay? Thank you.
While we help each other. And now I know to emphasize that little line will help you extend your speaker notes box or make it smaller. Thank you, Alicia. I want you once again, just type a sentence in there. It doesn't have to be long. And then go to, instead of clicking directly on slideshow on the upper right-hand corner, I want you to click on that little upside down arrow instead. And then click on presenter view.
Where's the upside down arrow?
Next to slide. So slideshow is on the upper right-hand corner and the upside down arrow is right next to the word slideshow. I need to get out.
Okay. And then presenter view.
Exactly. And so now the slideshow will appear on one side and the speaker notes will appear for you.
I did not know that.
Yeah, which is helpful. So,
Awesome. Thank you.
so theoretically, like if I'm on a Zoom meeting, I would share my screen and you would see the slide and I would see my speaker notes. If we were like at the TPF office, and for those who haven't been to the TPF office, in the governing board room, there is a big screen and then there's like a computer. So on the screen, I would have the PowerPoint And on the computer, I would be able to see my speaker notes. So everyone looks up there and I look down there so I can see my notes, like jog my memory of what I wanted to talk about for each slide. And if you hit escape, that should get you out of this presenter full screen mode. Something I may have forgotten to mention earlier, I want you to select a word that you have written down anywhere on any slide. It can be your title slide. I want you to select the word, right click, and click on link. If you wanted to include a hyperlink to something, this is where you would do that. I'm pretty sure in the homework I have you doing a hyperlink to somewhere on the TPF website. So you would just right click that word, click on link, copy and paste the TPF website. And
Wait,
that,
which word? Sorry, I missed that.
no, any word. This wasn't particular. Any word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Any word you'd like. Nothing specific.
Oh, I see it.
And that's how you do the hyperlink. Now I want everyone to go to share. On the bottom of your share button, make sure before you copy the link, I want you to make sure it says commenter. And then copy the link.
Mine says update access on parent folder.
You can just say no. I don't remember what all the options are because I just did it through quickly, but I want you to select update file only. Or the
Yeah.
other
Update item only?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then copy that link, then drop your link into the chat. Did I drop mine? Yes, I did. And then other than mine, because it's for demonstration practices, I want you to go to someone's, well, I want us to go to each other's. I want us to go to everyone's PowerPoint and leave a comment. It doesn't have to be a real comment. Once you open the other person's PowerPoint, I'll show you how to make a comment, but you gotta open the new one first.
I need access.
Whose are you clicking on
Eileen's.
so that they can reshare? Eileen, do you mind resharing your link, please? And thank you. I think I'm able to open everyone's, yes. Oh, that's cute.
Try it
Mine
again.
is
That is cute. That's a cute dog.
Did it work, Lindsay?
Okay, so we're going to share, and then what do we do now?
You go to share.
Uh,
The bottom of the share button, it should say anyone with the link, and then to the right of that, make sure it says commenter,
mhm.
and then copy the link. Then drop it in the chat, please, and thank you.
Eileen, it worked.
Yay.
That's easy. Okay.
And
mine is so a diamond in the rough, guys.
what was I saying? Yeah, and then to leave a comment on someone's thing, you just highlight or select whatever it is you want to leave a comment on, like maybe go to their picture slide, double click, highlight something. Once you have it highlighted, click on right click and you can leave a comment.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, and now whoever is the creator of it will get a little email that says, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. I love the diversity of these different PowerPoints. That's awesome. And once you made a comment to the 5 PowerPoints, just give me a thumbs up. Once again, it doesn't have to be complicated.
I'm sorry, my computer's super slow.
Oh, that's okay. We all have those moments where it's like, really? Come on now. But now, like whoever created it, they're going to get an email that says so-and-so has just left a comment.
How do you get out of their PowerPoint when you're done the one person? Because I'm hitting escape, but it's not leaving theirs.
You need to exit out of the window. So,
At the very top?
yeah, at the very top. Most likely the right-hand side.
Oh, okay, at the very top of your like, okay.
So here, I'm on your presentation. I hit, is it add comment? Or
You,
comment?
it should just say add, it should just say comment.
Okay, I think I got it now. All right.
Google can be very weird. I think sometimes they try to be I wish they were consistent. Some things like you have to click add something or insert something, and other times it's just a single click and it works. All you have to do is click comment. But make sure after you write your comment that in the text bubble, you click on the blue comment button or it doesn't save. One thing for everyone to notice, as we were creating these slides, like we never had to click on save or like save as, because it's already saving by itself automatically. And so if I'm collaborating with someone on this, they already have the latest version. It's only ever going to be this one PowerPoint, this one slide. It's only ever going to be this one link. And when you go back to your PowerPoint, back to your slide, whatever comment someone made, you'll be able to see it once you go to the slide where the comment was made. And you also get an email notification that so-and-so left a comment. And you can reply to that comment. You can click on a check or an X mark to get rid of it, whatever you want to do.
Mine still says request on everybody's. Request edit access. Am I hitting the wrong button?
I would say, what email are you signed into? It shouldn't be telling you that, but I guess my next question would be what email, because sometimes when you're signed into different emails, that can create a conflict of.
That could be it.
But yeah.
Okay.
But if it does tell you that, that's something outside of your control. Like you would click on request access, and then whoever needs to give you access would be like, give Shannon access, and then you'd be able to open it.
Okay.
So yeah, just something to keep in mind. So whenever that appears, that person just needs to grant you access. So you just click on request access, that person will get an email, and then they'll do what they got to do, and then you'll be able to access it using the link. Does anyone have any questions for me before I talk about the homework? Okay. Hearing none. The homework is to create like a 3 to 5 slide PowerPoint. This time it's going to be about a TPF initiative, any TPF initiative that you'd like. There has to be an introduction slide. It has to talk about the purpose of the initiative. Anything I'm asking you to do, like if you go to the initiative page, all that information is there. Like what's the purpose of the initiative? There's like literally an FAQ about what's the purpose of the initiative. You have to include a link to a blog or a newsletter. Once again, you go to the initiative page, all the blogs and newsletters are linked there. I'm not telling you which one to choose. Just pick a link and insert it into your PowerPoint. And know that I will send this again to you in the follow-up email. And there has to be a transition, and there has to be an animation. And yes, Tina.
So it has to be an initiative that you don't currently work on, correct?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I knew there was one, there's 2 different ones where I did you are working on, you don't have to work. I was trying to find that. Yes, there has to be an initiative that you are not working on. So you guys cannot do SCGLR for those who are working on SCGLR, which, yeah, it's really just me and you, Alicia.
I was just gonna write, I know what I'm doing. SEGLR.
Not
That's so fun.
really.
That's so fun.
So yeah, that gives people, you'll find a lot of the homework assignments have to do with the TPF website or initiatives in some way, because sometimes it's good for us to branch out to know what TPF is doing beyond our own initiatives. So now you get to do this while learning tech excellence. So 2 in 1. And once again, does anyone have any questions before we separate and begin enjoying the weekend?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And as questions appear, please do not hesitate to ask me them. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's always great.